Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for this month's NHVR Solutions portal webinar. We're happy to present release 7.10 to you today. We'll go through our standard agenda, a little bit of a welcome, of course. We'll highlight any new features that we're releasing and also go through our roadmap and give you some information on our webinar for next month. With us today, we've got John Barry, of course, myself, Julie McGee, Stephen Ryan and Nathan, two of our product analysts. Thanks for joining us today. And if some of you may have met Carly last time, but Carly Furlong, our Senior Digital Engagement Officer, and we're joining you from Brisbane and Melbourne today. We'll go through, as I said, the slides and do some demonstrations as required. If you've got any questions after this, you can contact us at digital@nhvr.gov.au. And of course, we'll upload this webinar and publish it to you all as well. Okay. All right, I'm going to hand over to Nathan to take us through our first feature for this release. Thanks, Nathan.
Thank you, Julie. Hello, everyone. We've just done a slight change for access in removing the word semi from the title page in the permits under the trailer registration. To make our permits clearer to understand, we've removed that wording from the trailer registration heading into the permit application. This will help stop any confusion from our customers and roadside officers when viewing these trailer details on our permits. So it just makes things a lot clearer for everyone. And that's the one we have for access today. Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan. And now Steve's going to take us through the next few slides and demos. Thanks, Steve.
Excellent. Thanks, Shelley. Hi, everyone. This one is for accreditation. So this is to allow administrator users on a customer account to remove secondary directors or representatives. So we've had some feedback from some operators and customers that they've got names that are listed in their secondary representative section of their customer account that might either been put in there by mistake or a person that worked at the organisation who's now moved on. And this is now adding a feature to allow you to remove that. So I'll just share my screen to demo what that looks like. So hopefully that's coming up on the screen. So this is the manage customer account screen of a customer account. And as you'll see down here, I'm logged in as an administrator on this customer account. And you can see I've got my own name in here in the secondary director spot. And I get presented with this button to say remove secondary representative. At the moment, this is a function that you can't do. So we're adding this in. So if you've got somebody in there and you don't need that person to be added on as a secondary company director, then you will be able to now remove them by clicking this button. So you click the button, you'll receive a prompt to say that you're sure you want to remove them. If you are sure you want to remove them, click the confirm, and then you'll see both the name and the date that they were added as the secondary director will both be removed. And that will then also open up the opportunity if you need to add another secondary representative, either company director or legal representative. So yeah, hopefully that will make it simpler to maintain that part of the customer account.
Thanks for that, Steve. And now we'll look at some of our other features in this release.
Great. Thanks, Shelley. So the next feature we'll look at is for vehicle standards. So we're starting to deploy notifications in the notification library. So the first one we're going to do is for the IPS notification. So I'll quickly share my screen again just to show what that looks like. So what we will have now is if you have an IPS case and it gets closed out with the issue of an IPS approval letter, then instead of getting an email or a cover letter that will come out, you will now start seeing these notifications that will come out via the portal. So you might already be familiar with those. You get the same types of notifications with different content when you submit an application or if you see an information request come through. So these will come through. It'll give you some detail about the type of vehicle that you've applied for, and it'll also have a link in there to your IPS approval document. So that will come out and be the notification that you get instead of getting a cover email or a cover letter. So you'll start to see more of those from the vehicle standards service as you make applications and come through, and we'll be expanding that set of notifications that will be sent out for those applications.
Thanks for that, Steve. And we've also just got another vehicle standards update for you this release. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Julie. So in the vein of continuous improvement, we've made some updates to labels for Crane and Dolly applications and cases. So over the last few months, you will have seen that some new vehicle components have been added to separate all-terrain cranes from all-terrain cranes with dollies. What we'll demo here is to show the next iteration of that to be able to hopefully make the applications easier to understand. So I'll just share the screen to show what that looks like. So hopefully that's coming up on the screen. So what you're seeing here now, this is in the current production environment. So this will be something you're familiar with if you've submitted an application for a crane and dolly. You'll see we have in here the combination, which is the carrier or the crane and the dolly, and then some information about the dolly, and the same for dimensions. So that's in the mass and dimensions section. So the update that will come out with today's release is separating out the combination from the carrier and from the dolly, and in both the vehicle mass and the dimensions. There's no additional fields in here that you need to complete to put the application in. It's just separating them a little more and setting them underneath some new headings. So hopefully that makes it a little easier to understand what's required and which piece of the component combination is being, the information is being requested for. And then where else you'll see this is when you get to the end of the application and you get the opportunity to review the information you've added. In the mass and dimensions section, you'll see these new headings that are in here for combination, carrier and dolly for both mass and dimensions. So that's just another small enhancement and improvement based on feedback from customers and also from our vehicle standard team to try and make the applications a little simpler to understand and to assist with getting the correct information in there when you're putting your applications together. So that's the final update for this release for vehicle standards. So I'll hand back over to Julie. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. And just a general update from us as well. You've provided us lots of fantastic feedback over the last couple of years, really, and also from our last customer satisfaction survey. And we're getting ready to release PBS as well. So you might start to see a few minor improvements in the portal to help out the usability there. So some of those changes might take a little bit of getting used to, and we'll be doing our best to guide you through them as they come online with our new engagement tools. If you've got any questions, though, do feel free to get in touch. All right, I'm going to hand over to John now, and he's just going to take us through the roadmap. Thanks, John.
Great, thanks, Julie. So the experience line at the top, Julie's just touched on. We're really getting our feedback systems optimized now. So we've done that first customer survey, and again, thank you for that feedback that's come through. We'll be having this customer survey occurring on a quarterly basis. And we'll also be, for the first time, extending to road managers in the next one. So we look forward to getting that feedback and really getting that pulse check to see how we're doing on a quarter-to-quarter basis. Along with that, the External Help Centre is an ongoing focus. We are in the process of updating materials now. There is quite a lot there, so we are still working towards, in the new year, to start bringing online in probably quite a controlled fashion the gradual rollout of that new system. So with access accreditation and vehicle standards, we're continuing to do maintenance. You will see coming up in our roadmap update for the next release, our last one of the year in December, a bit more information on some specific improvements we'll be making for access and accreditation in particular, over and above our normal maintenance. And as Julie said, PBS is a real focus for us. So 7th of December is when we're looking to move into our beta phase for the PBS application submission and case tracker. That will involve the PBS assessors and certifiers, many of whom have already put their hands up to get involved in a bit of a playpen environment, and also take the opportunity to test some real applications going through that system before we go live, and that target is still the 29th of January. In the meantime, we're working through the detailed smart forms for PBS, and that will allow us to fully digitise PBS applications, and that then sets us up for enabling that information exchange through to access, and we're hoping to see some good outcomes there from having fully digitised vehicle approvals inform the access consent process. And the last thing that we're continuing to focus on is the digital asset management piece of work. So This piece of work is really targeting Commonwealth funding for local government asset, in particular bridge and culvert assessments. So to make use of that information and ensure that it's sustainable, we're developing an asset register and maintenance function in the portal, which will take that information and allow road managers to maintain it, particularly local government, but also state and territory road managers as well. And that will have benefit for operators, in that we'll be then publishing some more detailed information in layers that you'll be able to access through the route planner. You will be able to access a layer now. So if you look at production and our portal route planner, you'll find under the layers an asset tab and layer, which will provide you information about the structures that are currently being looked at, and some basic information about the structure itself. Moving through the alpha phase and into the beta phase, we'll be expanding on that and providing a bit more information about the capability of those assets. So we're looking forward to that. That's all for our roadmap. Like I said, look forward to the next December update, where we'll be providing a bit more information on what we're doing for the 6 months leading up to the end of the financial year, so between January and June.
Thanks so much, John. What an amazing roadmap we've got coming up for you all. Okay, so our next webinar and monthly release. Oh, first of all, how you can contact us if you need support. It's all online there. And our next release will be on the 16th of December, and we'll see you all again then. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for your time.